Hi everyone, this is Mr. Wu. Hope you're all well. Now for the past 2 weeks, we've been working with this paper 4 about strange food in Hong Kong. In the first lesson, we worked on preparing a note card for your group discussions. And in the second lesson, we practiced using different ways of participating in group discussion. So today we will work on the last part of the paper 4 exam. Now if you remember, the paper 4 has two parts. Part A is the group discussions, and then part B is the individual response. For the group discussion for part A, you have 10 minutes to prepare a note card. You are allowed to use a note card to help you discuss. If you are in a group of 3, you discuss for 6 minutes. But if you are in a group of 4, you discuss for 8 minutes. And you're supposed to talk about a topic for a reason, for a purpose. So that is part A. In part B, the individual response, or the IR, you have to answer a question from the examiner, from the teacher, in 1 minute. You cannot prepare for it, and you cannot use a note card. So it is a lot more difficult than part A. So today we will work on this part. We will practice how to give an organized answer to the examiner's question. For example, if the examiner asks you this question, what is your favorite Hong Kong food? What is your favorite Hong Kong food? So how should you answer this question in 1 minute? Now, but before you answer the question, make sure you understand what the question is. Make sure you understand clearly what the examiner is asking you. Okay? In your exams and in your practice, sometimes I hear students giving an answer that do not match the question, right? So you have to make sure you understand the question first. If you are not sure, if you do not understand the question, you can do two things. One, you can ask the examiner to repeat the question. Okay? And then you can also ask a few questions to make sure that you understand the question correctly. So understanding the question is very important before giving your answer. Now, when you give your answer, it should be organized. There are a few steps that you should take. You should start in step 1 by saying thank you. Then you have to make the topic of your answer clear to the examiner. You give your answer then, and then you also explain your answer. Why you feel that way. What is the reason for your answer? And don't just stop there. You want to give as much information as possible. So add ideas, add information that are related to your answer. You can give some examples. You can talk about things that have happened to you. Those would be good ways of talking more about your answer. And then make sure that you conclude and then finish on time. On time means 1 minute, not too long, not too short. Okay, so in today's lesson, I will take you through the steps. I will show you what to do. Now remember, the first step is to say thank you. Okay, how do you do that? You can simply say, thank you for your question, or thank you for the question. And then you make the topic and your answer clear. Okay? You can start with as for, about, or regarding. Okay? As for what? About what? Regarding what? Okay. So the answer for this question, okay, the topic is your favorite food in Hong Kong, right? So you can say, as for my favorite Hong Kong food, or about my favorite Hong Kong food, or regarding my favorite Hong Kong food. And then you give and explain your answer. Okay. It is the egg tart. Okay. For example, the egg tart is your favorite Hong Kong food. So you want to explain a little bit what the egg tart is or why you like the egg tart. The egg tarts are sweet and have a yellow inside that is made with eggs. So you can describe a little bit what the egg tart is, and maybe the examiner do not know what it is. I like them because I love desserts. So that's your reason for liking egg tarts. There's your reason for why the egg tart is your favorite. The egg tarts are so tasty when they are fresh and warm. Okay, so in this part, you want to give your reasons. And then you want to use some examples and give more information about the egg tarts. What can you say? The cake shop near my home makes very good egg tarts. They make two kinds of tarts. One is hard, like a biscuit. The other is soft and breaks easily. I prefer the hard kind because I think they are sweeter. Yum. All right, so here you are talking about your real life experience, how the egg tarts relate to you in your everyday life, right? And then you can continue by giving some information about the egg tarts. In Hong Kong, there are also other kinds of tarts that look like egg tarts. There is a creamier kind. They are made famous in Macau. Okay, this one we're talking about the Portuguese egg tart, right? Not the Hong Kong egg tart. There is also a kind that is made with coconut. Right? This is the coconut tart that looks like an egg tart. I like them too, but not as much as the egg tart. So again, you repeat why the egg tart is your favorite. And then you want to finish and on time, right? You can conclude by saying, we are lucky in Hong Kong. We have many different kinds of tasty food, but the egg tart is my favorite. Again, you repeat that the egg tart is your favorite in your conclusion. I hope you like them too. Before you finish, you can say, thank you for your attention. I do not suggest that you say, that's the end of my presentation. That is because you are not really making a presentation. You are only answering a question. So thank you for your attention will be a better conclusion, will be a better finish. So these are the steps that you should take, and I have given you some examples of what you can say or how you can answer the question. Now, it's important to remember that when you speak or when you answer the question, you should pay attention to the grammar. You should use good grammar. Okay, make sure you use the right parts of speech, noun, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. Okay, and use the right tenses. Okay, if something has finished, something that happened in the past, use the past tense. If it's something that will happen in the future, something that you are going to do, use the future tense. Okay? When you describe something, okay, if you're talking about something that is always true, all right, try to use the present tense. All right, this is important. You have 1 minute to give your answer. Okay, make sure you have enough ideas to talk for about 1 minute. Right? Some students finish too early because you don't have enough ideas. So you need to make sure you have enough ideas. Okay, so now that I have given you an example, it's time for you to practice with a question. Okay, the questions that I would like you to practice with is, what food will you never eat and why? What food will you never eat and why? Now, to help you prepare for the answer, to practice answering this question, I have attached a worksheet with this video. So if it helps you, use the worksheet. When you use the worksheet to prepare an answer, okay, make sure you check the grammar in your prepared answer. Again, pay attention to the parts of speech, pay attention to the use of tenses. Okay, when your written answer is ready, okay, practice reading them out loud a few times. Okay, so that your answer can flow smoothly, so that you don't have to stop too many times and think about your answer. So practice reading your answer out loud. Also time yourself, okay, to see if your answer is not too long or not too short. If it is too short, then you have to add some more information. You have to add some more ideas. Right, so remember to do these things when you practice your individual response. So that's today's lesson. Be safe, be healthy. I will see you next time.